Now, Mom, where are we at right now?
Walker's Fork. Walker's Fork Church.
And what happened here? You were telling me?
Well, I used to walk and come to church here. And
How far are we from where you grew up?
4 or 5 miles, I guess.
And you walked over here to go to church sometimes?
Yeah, that's the only way we had going anywhere because we had no car.
Mm-hmm.
And that getting out and going to a revival was a big thing. You got the boy to walk you home a lot of times, you know.
Now, I was driving and couldn't film this, but tell me the story how you met Dad.
He saw me at church over Oak Glen, and he had his friend come up there and asked if he could take me home. And I told him, so I looked at him, I didn't know him, and I said, no, can't take me home. Walk me home, you know, not drive, it's walk. I said, no, I don't know him. And the next Sunday, he was over at Solomon's Temple where I was at church, and he walked me home ever since.
And that's the church we just passed.
Yeah.
Up on the hill.
Mm-hmm. And he's walked me home ever since. He kept coming. Next thing you know, we was engaged, and war come on, you know, and all of that.
How long were you engaged for before you got married?
About 3 years.
Oh, holy cow. I thought it was just a few months.
Well, he went to service.
Oh, you got engaged before he went into the Army?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you got married right before he went in the Army.
We did 10 days, I think it was before, but we'd been engaged for a long time.
Oh. Where'd you get married at?
In Greenville, South Carolina, I believe it was. Bill Gardner and his was going to marry the girl he was going with, and they said, why don't you all get married? We was all double dating, you know, and going somewhere.
What was Daddy waiting on?
What?
What was Daddy waiting on to be engaged to you for 3 years?
I don't know. Didn't have the nerve to get married, I don't guess.
So he was already in the Army when you got married?
He got called, you know, they were calling him up.
Right.
He got called up about that time.
Mm-hmm.
And
so you didn't have much time together before he left for the Army?
No. No, but I was a virgin.
Well, we don't know. I don't know if we want that on the news. I wasn't asking about that.
Well, turn it off.
No, sorry. So I'm just trying to picture this. So you got married, then he disappeared to the war, and you didn't see him for how long?
He was gone, and he wrote me letters, and he come in to see me a time or two on we get a pass, you know, and come in to see me a time or two. It seems like I went and lived with him about a month one time. I think I did.
You did down in Georgia, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then he went up to New Jersey and then took off to Normandy to train for Normandy, and you must have been worried when
I went down to Georgia long enough to live with him to get pregnant with Sandy.
Okay, it's more details.
And I come home. He come home on furlough, and I hadn't told him that I was pregnant. And Daddy was in there dancing around like he had a baby in his arms. I hadn't told Bill nothing about it.
Your daddy or my daddy? Oh,
my daddy dancing around there like he's had a baby in his arms.
No.
Bill looked at me and said, "That's the way I told him."
Now, your dad knew it though.
Knew we was married.
I mean, he knew you were pregnant. Your dad did.
Oh yeah, because
you told him.
Yeah, because I wasn't pregnant when I got married.
Well, I know that. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay. Daddy stopped. Me and Bill was going out and dating. He's fixing to go away pretty soon. We stayed out later and later every night. And Daddy said, I forbid you to go out and stay out after 10 o'clock again. Mm-hmm. And I just walked in there and got my marriage certificate, took it and showed it to him.
Oh, he didn't know you were married?
No.
Oh.
After that, he didn't care if I stayed out all night long.
Well, I guess not if you're married to him.
I mean, Daddy didn't care if I stayed out. No.
So when Dad went off to war, and did you know he was going to be fighting in Normandy? Did you know what was going?
No, not then.
Because that was all secret.
Well, I don't know where they trained him for so long before, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't go straight there. He was trained for it.
But you must have worried about him. It was a horrible war.
Of course I did.
Helen, we saw a letter. I don't know if this camera's catching you, but we saw a letter that Dad had written you from right after Normandy from France. Mm-hmm. Sandy published it on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope she don't destroy it.
No, it was a summary of all the things he experienced in Normandy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he was good to write and tell us what he'd done.
Well, I've got letters that tells all that too, haven't I?
All right, we're going to get back on the road. I just wanted to stop and hear the story.
Well,
My battery